Bork, bork. So it'll be 80 today. It's already 78, dude. EI. Hot. Alright, so I said in 2 videos ago that I would talk about a couple dogs that I got. We have 4 dogs. Tell some funny dog stories, or just talk about dogs, because I love dogs, dude. I think dogs, to be honest, are better than people. You know what I mean? Like, they're, you know, they're dumb, but goddamn, they're dumb and just love unconditional. Well, yeah, unconditionally they love you. So we have 4 dogs. The oldest one is Duke. I talked about him in the last one. He's the one that framed our husky with the spaghetti sauce. Knocked it over and framed him. And if you haven't watched that one, I'll just go over it real quick. So my wife and I were outside smoking in the evening. It was either dark or dusk, one of the two. It was dark enough outside where you couldn't see outside from inside because we didn't have the porch light on and the inside lights were on. So, you know, inside you can't see out because of the reflection. So, we had spaghetti, and Duke got in the kitchen. We hear him clanging around. We're like, what the fuck is he doing? We get up, stand up, and look. He's up there on the fucking counter like this. He ends up grabbing the thing of spaghetti and pulls it down so he can get it. He has a couple licks of it and then realizes, like, oh, dude, I messed up. Crap, they're gonna be mad. So he runs to the freaking sliding glass door to see if we're outside. He can't see us, so he doesn't know what to think. So he says, screw it. He goes upstairs, and this is the way we've interpreted what happened. Is he went and talked to Rebel, our husky, who ended up passing away. Rest in peace, homie. Went and talked to Rebel. Says, hey, there's food downstairs all over the floor if you want it. And Rebel, big dumb dog, he's like, oh hell yeah. So he goes downstairs, starts lapping it up. When we come inside, you know, we're just cracking up right now because we were talking about, dude, Duke just framed him. Anyway, we kind of let that one slide just because of how funny it was. They were both, dude, we still have Duke. He's a real good dog, but he's old. He's 14. He's a mix of Doberman, German Shepherd, and like Basset Hound or something. And in his old age, dude, he's just weird and old. He'll come up to your face. Now, he's always done this. He'll get up right up to your face. And he just wants to smell your breath, really. It's weird. He's like, oh, I want to smell your breath. So you blow on him, you know, nice and gentle, so he can smell your breath. He's like, ah, thank you. Tip of the hat, good sir, and he walks away. Now, he's all gassy and he'll walk up to you and just burp, and then he's like, oh, and he's got this. He's like the only dog I have ever met that actually smiles. I mean, I'm talking like full-blown, like cartoon-like smiles. So he'll just stand there smiling at you, breathing, huffing at you, and then next thing you know, he burps. Oh, they're building a house. Okay, yeah, I figured they were, but nice. Yeah, so he'll belch at you, you know, and he stinks. He's just old, you know, he's got lumps everywhere. He's got this one lump on his throat, and it makes him, every now and then, he just go, ugh. And sometimes he times it perfectly. One time my wife and I were talking about something that was gross, and just the timing of it was like, bleh. Nice. And then other times it's like, it's comical, you know. We're talking about like, oh, like my wife and I getting all lovey on each other. I love you too. And I'm like, oh, I love you more. I know I love you more. And he's like, bleh. It's pretty funny. So then we've got Gunner. We call him Gooby. You know how nicknames just evolve. So he's Gooby Gooby. Gooby Goob. But he is Gunner the dog. And he is an interesting mix. He was advertised as a wolf hybrid. Wolf husky hybrid. And my wife's like, we have to have him. You know? And I'm like, alright. Tell you what, you give me a little hanky panky and and then I'll warm up the car, you know. So I never did get that hanky-panky, but I warmed up the car anyway, and we drove to off Powell in Portland, and there was this family of Russians that had these little pups running around. Now they couldn't be older than freaking dang 4, 5, 6 weeks, you know, 6 at the maximum. Like they're babies, bro. Like their eyes opened yesterday. You know, they were just like weaned off the tit like yesterday. So anyway, we scoop him up, 800 bones for him, worth every penny, which we end up sinking a lot of pennies into this particular dog. We bring him home. Now this is COVID. This is like September of 2020, and yeah, so we get him, we take him to Petco or whatever, PetSmart, and we get him all of his fixins. We get him a little ball, and we get him a little this, a little cup for him to drink his water out of, and a little cup to eat his food out of, and we get him a lamb chop baby, you know, to cuddle. Well, we call it baby, and he loves his baby, but it's a lamb chop. And he's such a baby, dude. He's such a good little guy. And anyway, fast forward, we take him for a walk November, you know, right around my wife's birthday, and everything's going good. You know, he's following a tiny tango around. I gotta bleep that out. And he's having a good old time, and then next thing you know, we just hear him screaming. Idiot impaled himself on a piece of driftwood right through his right eyeball. Now he already was like cross-eyed, and we're like, God dang it, he's gonna, oh my God. And so my mother-in-law or my wife's holding him while my mother-in-law like slowly pulls out this piece of driftwood that was just, it was really just lodged in between the eyelid and the eyeball. And so we pull it out, and he's blinking, and we're like, oh baby, you just, you know, you feel so bad, but just a baby, don't know any better. Oh my God, impaled himself, dude. So then with a lot of COVID dogs, he developed a severe anxiety when my wife had to go back to work. I was working throughout, but she, you know, they get the go ahead for work out of the office, which is dumb, but you know, they find that you can get just as much done, if not more, at home than in the office. Anyway, so, which is so dumb, because if they care about climate change and carbon emissions so much, why are you making people go in the office still when they can easily work from home? Come on. Anyway, so it's time for us to go back to work. We put him in a kennel. He chews through the kennel. So we get one of those kennels that's like, you know, chew resistant, chew proof. He eats through that. And then yeah, so we're like, screw it, let's just leave him outside. So I built this overhang. It's an okay job. It's not the best job I've ever done, but I built this thing to keep the rain off, and it's still standing. It's all right, actually. It's working. I need to add a couple support brackets to it, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. So anyway, him and Duke figure out a way to get out, and so we have to build. Oh, we built a fence. Yeah, that's right. Or no, I'm getting the timeline mixed up. So we built a fence to keep him in there, and then he started climbing it. So then I built another fence, and he climbed that one. We made it a little taller. He went under it. You know what I mean? And so then we pushed it up to like flush with the house. He's still figuring out a way to get out. So my wife and I spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, hours and hours and hours to build this fence that no one can get out of. So if you're to come to my house and look at my gate, it's not to keep people out, it's to keep people in. You know, and when I say people, I mean my dogs. So then we put him, you know, we bought an impact crate, because sometimes we don't want to leave him outside because we can't trust him, because we have chickens and all this other shit. He chews through one of the metal bars almost, but in the process chips his teeth. So both his front left top and bottom canine, or I guess it's just the left top and bottom canines, chipped them. And so, you know, we can't have him without teeth. They were going to yank him. So we said, screw it, just implants, So now he's got these titanium alloy implant canines. It's badass. Then my wife was complaining about how the deer kept hopping our little 4-foot fence and eating all our tomatoes and stuff. And so I'm like, okay. So I'm planning out a 7-foot tall like deer, anti-deer, and rodent fence, which I spent hundreds on. And then we're outside just hanging out, and next thing you know, we look back, and there's Gunner. He's climbed the fence, and I'm just talking like, it's just a wire fence. It's nothing crazy, you know. He climbs it. He's on the top, balancing up on the top of it, and then we're like, Gunner, no, and he just jumps. He's chasing a squirrel. We're like, are you freaking for real, dude? So I'm like, okay. The next day or the day after, like in short succession, my wife comes, I'm in bed, just, you know, it was like 10 o'clock or whatever. It was in the morning, and I'm like just rolling out of bed. My wife's like, oh, fucking, god damn it, god dang, ah, and I'm like, oh, okay. Because the deer jumped over and ate all of her tomatoes again. So I'm like, all right. So I load up my son, get the truck running, head over down to dang frickin' Wilco. $800 worth of fucking material later. Now I might be exaggerating, but maybe it was $400, but still a couple $100 later. And it was just so happens to be the hottest day of the dang year. I'm out there with a post digger, you know, digging up these freaking holes, and I run 44 feet of this fencing, you know, with 10-foot 8-inch diameter posts and all this. Oh my god, what a nightmare that was. You know, I'm setting it with concrete. Hottest day of the year. I ended up getting tennis elbow for a freaking 6 months. For 6 months, bro. I couldn't do curls, man. I couldn't get buys for the guys, homie. Pissed me off. Anyway, that's Gunner. There's 2 other dogs, so there's not such extensive stories about them because they're freaking dumb. But anyway, thanks for listening to me. I love ya. And I'll talk to you in the next video.